Hey, welcome back. So we are going to do this stamp and I'm gonna try doing it in 2 colours. I'm using Head in the Clouds, this gorgeous box of loveliness. I don't need loads because I'm not covering the whole stamp. I just want to do the leaf. Is it ginkgo? I don't know. I'm going to do 4 actually. I probably won't need this many in it, but what I want to do is stamp it in and sort of stamp it hard. So I'm going to put this on here to warm and then cut around the leaf and put the leaf back in it. And then I'm going to melt this sparkly black one. I was going to go with the blue, but I think I'll do the black. Sparkly black one to then stamp it back in and give a border around it. You know what, I am going to do the blue. I just find tweezers easier, she says, chasing it around than my fingers. My fingers are numb at the minute. So it takes about a minute to a minute and a half for this to melt. I didn't realise this one's sparkly. Ooh, a bit of a shine going on that. Didn't realise that. That's special. Don't know what I'm scrapping yet today. So I was thinking of maybe this picture of me at the coffee shop by St Michael's Mount. Scrapping this but not being about St Michael's Mount because I've got some other pictures of all of us. But this being about my recent update on my diabetes. So April, my HbA1c was 122, which needs to be, I think it's below 45, sort of like 45, 46, 47 is pre-diabetic, and I've been that since I was in my 20s. 49 plus is type 2 diabetic. I don't know where it is for T1, I don't know much about T1. And so mine was 69 when I was first diagnosed 2 years ago, and I got it down to 59 and my doctor wasn't that worried. And then April this year it's 122, got it down to 116 in about a week. And so I've been like, you know, changed everything overnight and been on metformin, and I had my bloods last week, and it's now 40. So I'm not even pre-diabetic. So I'm still on my tablet, still following the meal plan I've been following, which is just basically really low carb and fat free or low fat. Still losing weight, and I'm just going to keep going. And I mean, it's not, you know, the best picture you see on my lumps and bumps in this one, but I just wanted something to tell that story of where I am now. So we're going to scrap this picture with that story, and I'm not quite sure what collection I'm going to use. I might even go back to the print shop if I can find it. It's here somewhere. Oh, it's in my bag from Cornwall still. Right, has this melted yet? Nearly there. We're nearly there. I think my candle's going out. I think I might need a new candle. I think this is the problem. Why it's taking a little bit longer than usual. I still need to clean my silicone mat up because I've made a bit of a mess of it. I'm going to swap this candle out. Not playing ball. I think that's my fault actually, because I dropped something and the wicks got covered in wax. Yeah, so I'm just using my old craft mat for today. I still need to sort my silicone thing out because it's, I just dumped my spoons as to cool and end up just making a mess of it. Okay, I don't think this is melted enough, but we will give it a go. I am pushing this in. I know I say I don't push it in, but I'm pushing it in because I only want the leaf in the middle with this wax. I'm leaving that on there a minute just in case this doesn't go well because the wax hadn't melted very well. And then we just need to leave it to set. I think actually we are just going to go for the blue. We're going to go for it. See, this is why this gets dirty, because when I've poured and I've got oil dripping down, I stick it on there. Okay, so let's get the tendrils off and pull this off. This is going to be really thin because I pushed hard. So that, the seal, can I get that to focus on there? There we go. But, oh, I've ripped it. That's silly me, lose my snips. But I only want this bit. There is a way where you use a hot stamp head, hot palette knife, You pour a colour on top, you scrape it off with a palette knife, and then you lay your colours up that way. I have not yet perfected that. In fact, I'm nowhere near perfected it. It is an absolute mess when I do it. So I do this where I cut the piece out and then carefully put it back in my stamp head. If that had properly heated up, I wouldn't be doing that because I'd be burning my fingers. Let me show you the toadstool. So I have the toadstool stamp, and what I'm doing now is what I did for that one, where I cut the different pieces out. Is that glue nearly melted now? Let's get a clean cocktail stick out because this has got purple and green on it. So it is the first time I'm using these Head in the Cloud wax beads, so I'm not 100% sure on the number of beads. I'm hoping I've guessed right. Let's give this a go. We're just going to pop that in just to melt that green off. Right, okay, let's see if it's done. Oh my. If that's cool enough, it would have come up with the stamp. Look at that. I will love that. We're going to do some more of them. Happy day. Now I need to find what collection I've got to go with that. I think print shop will be alright. Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm so happy. Let's do some more of the green. Okay, so I'm going to get a couple more made. Be right back. Okay, just while that's melting, I think what we're going to do is Mel Walkden's Day 11 sketch for 30 Days Sketches. It's got this big tag. It has 3 pictures, but I'm just going to use the one. I'm going to do some embellishment clusters there. We have a do as I say, not as I do moment. The hot stamp head pushed into the wax, just made it go everywhere, made a mess, and end up no image, so don't do that. Right, so here we are. There are my 3 embellishments. You know me, everything comes in 3s. 3 embellishments. I have started back in the photo. I've used this from 6x8. Let's get scrapping. Okay, so move on to the voiceover segment of the recording. So I'm just here creating a tag. I have cut this piece to, I think it was 10.5 by 11, and then I folded it sort of roughly in half to cut the corners off. I decided I've cut them too deep, so I cut a bit off the end again to make it so that the side pieces weren't so deep, and I'm actually happier with how that's turned out. What I'm doing here is I'm using the Crocodile because I don't have the whole reinforcer punch yet. I really need to order it. Use the Crocodile to crop the background piece that's going behind the tag, and then the 1/2 inch punch, I think it was, to cut a circle around that to kind of give me a faux hole reinforcer for the tag. These are 2 sheets from the 12x12 pad from the print shop collection, or as with the 12x12 pads, they're just slightly smaller. I'm using the American seam binding in Sage, I think this one is, from the Helen Magpies site there to add to my tag. And I do have a bit of a thing for this pom-pom trim, so I'm going to use that to go around the side of the tag as a border to the tag. Now I have put some adhesive along the top of the tag to adhere it, to stick it to the paper, so the tag's not moving about the page whilst I'm trying to get the pom-pom trim over under, and I've just roughly kind of put where it is so I know how much of it I need to use. Then what I do is I get my wet glue, and just one side at a time I just put a strip of the wet glue going just underneath the edge of the tag to where the seam binding is going to sit. So the seam binding is actually adhering to the page under the tag. There are some sections where I drop the tag down and not keeping it held up, so the glue has transferred a little bit onto the bottom of the tag as well, which is fine because it then sticks the tag to the pom-pom trim too. So I do realise I've not quite cut this long enough. So what I end up doing is kind of encouraging it to stretch a little bit. So the pom-pom trim does stretch, and getting it stuck one end on the glue, I can then encourage it to keep on coming. I'm now sticking seam binding to make it kind of look like it's naturally fell and landed there, because I want to use that as an anchor point for an embellishment cluster and don't want it moving about when I'm putting it into my album. So that's me, just getting all that ribbon stuck down as well. Now on the layout, as I said on the sketch, there's 3 photos and there's two journaling spots either side of the photo. So this is where mine changes. I am just going to use this one large photo, and then from the cutter parts, I also use a 4x6 journaling block from the 6x8 paper pad. I am just deciding here where I'm putting those, where my embellishment clusters are going to be, which is easier to decide once I've put this second sheet on. So like I said, this is from 6x8 paper pad, and it is a 6x4 journaling blocks, the same size as my photo. Just pulling out all the embellishment packs now that I have from this collection. I think I have them all, if I'm honest. And deciding then, it's where the embellishing starts in earnest, and creating those embellishment clusters. So going through the floral pack and choosing my title. So I do go for this heartful title there, and I have put quite a large journaling block on here as well, because from me explaining what the layout's going to be, near the beginning of the video, it is going to need quite a bit of journaling, so that's why I've chosen such a big journaling block. So I decided to bring my third wax seal across, so it's not on the edge of the journaling block, it's by the side of the photo. I do actually bring that down and tuck it underneath, because if you've watched many of my videos where I'm using sort of like flare or wax seals as embellishments, I do tend to have them tucked under something. So at the minute that's tucked above the flower. I was going to do it below the flower, sorry, it's the other way around. I was going to do it below the flower, but you would have lost the top of the leaf, or much more of the leaf than you have on the other side. So that's why I've tucked it the way I have. Those words I've put on, I feel are quite fitting considering the story. So I do like them layered over the photo, and it does give that different layered look that I like. So I've got bits that are tucked under the photo, or under the photo mat, under the journaling block, and bits tucked between the photo and the photo mat, and then I've got something going over the photo. So that's the kind of look that I like. And I've just stuck the wax seals down with some wet glue, and you would have seen me sticking one of the seals there and tucking it within the seam binding. I've added a letter or a word sticker there to that journaling piece at the bottom. I do actually add another word sticker to it as well. Now, adding some of the chipboard here, so I'm getting the different textures and the different layers. But the bulldog clip, sorry, that's on the journaling block, I do want that sort of more prominent, and another layer for that bulldog clip, because again, if you've watched many of my videos, I'm trying to get these bulldog clips from these collections used up. So trying my best to add them onto the layout. So you'll see there I found this one from the ephemera, which is a polka dot one, and I've got it so it's sort of layered with the arrow. You would have also noted me pop some bits from the letter stickers down, so I've put the 4 and O because that's representing what my HbA1c was on this latest blood test, and I just wanted to have that a little bit more prominent than hiding in the journaling somewhere. And I pulled that word sticker up from the edge and having that over that little banner piece, and I really like how that looked. There are some butterflies as well at the end of each of the arrows, because I liked one of them. and I can't have one, I have to have 3. And I've got the chipboard pieces there. So that's all done, and we're going to switch over to live action now. Okay, so we're done. I have turned sketch upside down and done my big tag. So using print shop, I've used pom-pom trim around there, American seam binding. I've created a hole reinforcer by punching out of the background. So I punched that size hole from the crocodile first, and then punched around it with the circle, 1/2 inch circle punch. I have added my wax seals in 3 spots, and then just embellished. And then I've got this huge area here for all that journaling, the story I told you whilst we were making the wax seals. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Just popping back in over the close-ups to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you next time.